What's up, guys? So, tournament will be kicking off in 2 minutes here. Just like the last couple before it kicks off. We've had a few late minute signups. So, I'm just going to let it tick over for everybody to get in here who wants to actually join up and play some matches. We've got a lot of high level competition in here tonight. We've got our leaderboard top five in here pretty much. Oishi, Bastos, and Ash. Just missing Outer Region, who's been a little absent lately, but I do know that Outer was streaming like a campaign earlier today, so doing his own thing. Probably just taking a little bit of a break from the multiplayer. You can definitely burn yourself out playing too much of this game, but you know, we're here. We're gonna have a good one. We'll see if we can actually get a dub tonight. I've been on the cusp so many times. I don't know. I just can't lock in for those last couple games. Don't worry about it. Come join one of the new players. Oh, that's right. We talked about this before, I think. Spoiler. Maybe we can well, maybe I can set up a new player tournament sometime where you can actually join up and play. I know that the Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, I guess, time period isn't like the most accessible for everybody. You know, I know lots of people want to actually go out and be in the real world with their weekends. Either that or they actually have to work. I've been in both boats. Alright, sweet. So, we're going to go ahead and kick it off. Boom. We'll let everybody know in the tournament chat. Sweet. Let's go see who our first opponent's going to be. Oh, Blood Penguin for round one. That's going to be pretty tough. Blood Penguin is a really strong player. Very good at Empire. And I'm not actually 100% sure what other factions he plays. We'll get in here and find out. Might be a rough one in round one here. Alright. So top three is banned right off the bat, and then each player gets a global ban. I thought about doing a 3x3 tournament, but since I knew I wasn't going to be able to host until really late, I thought I'd save everyone a little bit of time and just trim down on the counter picking portion of everything. It can get get to be a little much at times. Alright, we're sitting in here waiting for Blood Penguin. Need to think about who I want to play. Probably gonna be probably gonna be banning maybe the Chaos Dwarves. because a lot of the factions that I like playing are pretty even with them in terms of win rate. Like Khorne and Warriors of Chaos have a pretty even matchup with them. Wood Elves are just barely ahead of the Chaos Dowie. Lizardmen are crushing them though, which is a little surprising to me. I would figure that lizards would have a little bit of trouble with the Chaos Dwarves, but apparently not. They just are slapping them up from what I'm looking at. Alright, I'm gonna global ban Norsca. We'll see what Blood Penguin ends up banning out. Alright, he bans Khorne, which is fine. I was kind of expecting that. I figure a lot of people are going to be banning Khorne. We'll pick lizards. Who else, man? It's always a tough decision. Probably Warriors of Chaos. I've been enjoying Warriors a lot. Really good faction. They are awesome. Boom. Okay. Curse of a faction main. It happens. It's fun. I've been there plenty of times. Oh, good to hear it, Despoiler. Don't worry, Tom. I'll be repping the Wood Elves tonight. I'm talking with Penguin right now. We're figuring out the picks and bans right now. Yeah, he wants to see the map, which is understandable. I did pick some a little bit off meta ones. You don't see them too terribly often. Eastern Isle Colony is the first one. It's been a while. It used to be a mainstay, but I've noticed it doesn't get picked nearly as much as it used to. And I'm a big fan of this map. It's a little bit of a lane in some regards, but it's got really competitive objective play. Even when you're pushing onto your opponent's home objective, you can make some pretty serious moves there. It is very nice for shooting factions, which I know Penguin is a big fan of. Alright. I'm just gonna go screw around with the builds while we wait, I guess. I don't think he knows how this format works. He seems very confused. So give me a second, guys. We'll hash this out. Here. I'll make this easy. Okay. Keep that set up there. We'll take a look at the win rates right now, so that y'all aren't staring at the faction select screen the whole time. Okay. One moment, guys. Yeah, Oasis of Zedri is awesome, and Crater is interesting. It's a huge map. I mean, it spans a like ridiculous like size, but I really enjoy the play on it. It does favor quicker factions, but I just wanted to mix it up with some of the less seen stuff. It's not that hard to understand Penguin. We're still hashing this out. Penguin is not understanding what I'm trying to communicate to him, so we're trying to come to some kind of agreement. Oh my god. Oh, okay. That makes no sense, but okay, we're gonna just roll it. Here we go. We'll just get it rolling. I don't know what the hell is going on here, but we've figured it out. What the hell do you even do against Bretonnia, though? That's my question. Get a little bit of Archie action going, I guess. That's probably going to be the best thing I can do here. Not going to worry about anything else here, I think. We'll just roll with our, we'll roll with our boy here. Infantry, you don't really need to go super expensive against Bretts. Halberds? Halberd's going to be a good option here, though. And against the Knights, they'll do really well, but the issue might end up turning into, them just getting kited around the map. Although we do have the middle objective, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue for me. Gonna need some, hard-hitting, anti-large. Hellstriders will be able to control some of the Yeomen if they come out. But they're a little flimsy. They'll probably get rolled up by the, all of the cav if I'm not careful here. You could go double. Ooh. It's a lot to invest into, though. I don't know, I think Forsaken will be a little too vulnerable here. Maybe we actually, you know what? I think a couple of Hell Scourges is actually going to be a really good idea here. And then we can have the Halberds in reserve, and then we can roll with as much mobility as we can shove in here at the end. Couple of Forsaken to clear stuff. I guess this will work. It's certainly an option. Alright, sorry for the long wait, guys. We finally got it rolling here. And we'll be kicking it off. I don't know what the fuck Blood Penguin is on about, but we just agreed to do whatever the hell he wants, basically. So, he's playing Bretts, and I'm doing Warriors of Chaos. And, we'll see how it goes. He basically just talked me into a corner. And he got to pick whoever he wanted to, and I'm just rolling with whatever three options I initially chose from. I mean, I'm not crazy in thinking that the idea is that each player picks three factions, and then each person bans one of the three that the other person picked, and then you each choose from the 2 remaining. Because I don't think I could have worded it any clearer in my description, and he still just does not seem to understand it. Alright, we got a ton of Marauders. They're going to be a little bit vulnerable to the heavy cavalry, but we'll see how much of that's even out on the field here. It might not be that big of an issue. I mean, it's a huge Bretonnian army. I mean, it's 18 units, which is pretty substantial. Keep the trolls in a group here. These guys need to get a little closer in there. And then I immediately flubbed my formation up. I don't think I want to commit a Slaanesh warrior onto the number 3 per se. We'll keep them up in the woods here, where they can jump onto the number 1 at a moment's notice if needed. I think that'll do me a lot more good here. There we go. Let's get our stuff up onto the middle here. We do have Lewin, which is not super shocking. We've got a Damsel with Beast Magic, just Flock of Doom on the table, which isn't a bad choice at all. You know, definitely going to be very effective against my front line. Going to wear down a lot of my stuff, but we should be able to survive the worst of it. Foot Squires, 1 Field Trebuchet. Trebuchets aren't too accurate. I'm not super worried about it. Let's see what damage we can get on Lewin here. Lewin is probably going to try and land on my skirmishers here. I would be very surprised if he didn't try. We'll try and mirror, and we've got some shenanigans coming out already. Not 100% sure what it is. We'll be finding out. He does land here. We'll get the trolls rolling in. We can get a good volley off here while he's landed on the ground.
We have a victory point.
I mean, the issue with throwing at Lewin is that he's going to persevere through most of the damage and not really suffer all that much because of it. We might want to actually go push the other objective here. Take the charge here on the trolls. That's okay. We need to get Lewin across, or Archaon across. We get a fat burning head here, which should go down the entire length of this Bretonnian army, pretty much. Does kind of miss his formation, but it should cleave through some of these guys. Actually gets through the Foot squires really nicely and hits the halberds back there, which is beautiful for me. Let's get up on the point here. I'm going to pull back a little bit. Archaon needs to get into this combat. He's got a fat blob here, which we're going to try and hammer down now. Archie's doing pretty good here against Lumen. Lumen's taking a ton of damage already. Should be able to break through the front line here. We're going to get around the flank, actually, with the Chaos Knights. Try and hammer home. It's a very congested map here. Should be alright, though. Lumen's trying to get some terror routes going, which isn't a bad idea. He's doing some pretty good damage to me. But we do hold these objectives. We just need to pull back our horsemen who are taking a bunch of damage. I don't really want to see that happening. We're going to push up onto this point here. Let's pull Archaon back just so he doesn't get pounded by Lumen by chance. That would be pretty devastating for me. We'll hammer down the Foot Squires with the Searing Doom here. We're losing a Troll who's taking a bunch of damage, but that's alright. We've cleared a lot of the front line. I'm going to pull Archie back a little bit, and maybe we can get another Troll up. Trolls should be able to hammer down a lot of these Bretonnian units. Knights of the Realm coming up. We'll keep these guys here. We'll try and get around the flank here. Let's hammer home into these Foot Squires. We'll get Archie over there as well. So the Hell Scourges are going to hang out on this objective. We're going to push up over here. We did lose the middle, which is a little unfortunate, but we'll be okay, I think. Archie is looking for a good scrap here. Should be able to find it. We actually should push into the back line more. Run over all these guys. Archie's going to save up for a Burning Head, and we're going to try and just absolutely roast this entire Bretonnian army. See what we can do here. Flocks of Doom have been doing some really good damage to me, but I think I'm going to be able to survive through the worst of it. I probably need to just trot out more infantry is what I need to do, though. Throwing axes are pretty worked down now. Chaos Knights are taking a beating, too, which is not great. Let's try and beat these Knights of the Realm up here. And he's got more Knights of the Realm coming in. And I'm completely overextended there. So I'm probably going to get hard punished. And I'm going to start feeding a ton of value to my opponent. I mean, he does get a fat terror route, too. Which is very painful for me. Let's try and kill the caster. Bring us some trolls. More durability, potentially. He's jumping on the number 2 objective again, which is really slick. Very good choice, and he's maneuvering away from Archie really nicely. Yeah, we're not doing too hot here, which is very painful. These guys can get back. The trolls need to get on top of the Foot Squires here. Archie needs to try and survive here, not get completely surrounded by the Knights of the Realm. Wearing down a lot of the infantry now. We do have the Knights over here that are just completely flattening me. I'll bring up a Halberd. Halberd's going to try and anchor that objective over there. We'll save Searing Dooms to punish these Knights of the Realm here. We should be able to get some pretty good casts off of that. Trolls are killing the Beast Caster right now, which is okay. Definitely not hating that situation. Still need to save my back point here. Archie needs to try and finish off this caster here. How many of the knights are here? There's a decent little chunk of them, and I don't know what my trolls think they're doing. They just route through the middle of my opponent's army for some reason, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm just going to feed a ton of value that way. Try and rally back here. Oh, that's brutal, dude. Losing my trolls like that? I don't know what the hell's happening with them. When they just ran, like, directly into my opponent's entire formation and immediately got iced. Not winning the infantry grind. The trolls aren't holding up the way I thought they would, and it's taken me way too long to get up on this point. And Blood Penguin with the knights and everything is going to be able to play a much cagier game than I am.
Charge them! Warriors of Slaughter! Syria's eye will see.
Questing Knights, Knights of the Realm, more Knights of the Realm out here. Kind of winning here on the middle now in terms of the infantry fight. Think we've got superior weight there. Keep these guys back here. We'll get the Hellstriders over into the middle here and maybe do some pushing. See what else we can get out. Some Forsaken, definitely. I mean, we've got to get some kind of weight out here. We've got next to nothing on the points. How have the Hellscourge Warriors done? They really haven't done all that hot either. I just don't have a winning engagement anywhere on the field, man. The trolls, they're just getting run over. They haven't gotten me a lot of value. It's really been a struggle trying to find good value. This should get me something, though, with a nice Searing Doom here. Blood Penguin is going to micro out of it really slickly, though, so not even a good situation for me on that front. Let's push up onto the back point, maybe try something there. Archie just too thin, and we're just getting wrecked right now. Oh my god. Can't even push out of these peasant mobs who are just like holding him up for ages right now. Full route on the Hellstriders, who just got absolutely pummeled. I have no idea what I'm doing against the Bretonnians. Probably needed the item that causes terror on my boy Archeon. That probably would have been a much better tool for me than what I've currently got available. As it stands right now, I'm not super confident about this. That was a money Searing Doom, though. That got me a lot of good value there. Maybe going to give me an opportunity to start trying to flip this. Need to unsummon. I've got too many units just hanging out on the battlefield with, like, absolutely nothing that they can accomplish. Hellstriders folded up. They still didn't get anything done. Damn, dude. The heavy armor on the Bretonnian cavalry is really punishing me. I just don't have the means right now to deal with all that. Get back here. We need to recharge. Although these trolls are probably just going to break. Their leadership is not going to hold up for much longer. More Chaos Knights. We'll see what can happen here. We'll try and punish any cavalry that come to blob on Archie here.
Swords of Chaos.
Holding on to this objective really nicely. We're going to get the trolls inside the halberds. Try and line all these guys up. See if they can persevere through that. They might be alright. Some rallying forces back here. We'll charge in. Actually holding up. I should have just had more halberds, I think. Those are kind of what's holding up on my end, while the rest of my army is ending up being very weak and not actually getting a whole lot done. We'll keep scrapping here. I don't think I'm going to be able to win this match. You know, the points aren't, like, atrocious for me, but I don't know if I've got enough on the field. Archie's been pretty awesome. The Chaos Knights are doing okay here now. try and get a really punishing Searing Doom here. That did a ton of damage, but still isn't going to be able to save this position for me. Now all of my Marauders are going to get folded up. Trolls were not the choice. These guys have been getting hard countered by the Knights of the Realm. They've gotten a bunch of kills, but their leadership is so bad they're not sticking around for any of the late-stage combats. I think I needed some terror as well. Archaon's done amazingly. He's got me 4,000 freaking value, but I don't think it's going to matter in the long term.
Chaos Marauders! Blood!
Doing a very good job of chasing down a lot of the remaining units I've got, and his Beastcaster got 1,800 value, man. Really brutal. Lewin's done exactly what he needs to do. He's just hung around up top there and not died. Chaos Knights, these guys only got 900 value. That's going to be a terror route on the Chaos Warrior Halberds. That'll be it. Alright, GG's. Couldn't outcompete the Bretonnians in that one. Yeah, it is what it is. What on the Bretonnians did well? The Field Trebuchet actually got a ton of value, 1,300. It's pretty juicy. Warriors were terrible. They just got folded up. Maybe just more chaff infantry to throw into the meat grinder would have been better, or just more patient play. I didn't have to overextend the way I did. I just was really impatient that game. Definitely outplayed myself a little bit. Alright, we'll find an opponent who is actually gonna play the picks and bans the right way, I guess. I don't even know what the hell was going on that last game. Yeah, his Cav micro was really good. So Thoriel might have also been a better option. It's a little risky, though, because, you know, all your opponent needs is some Heaven's Magic, and then Lewin with the 25% speed reduction and melee defense reduction from that lore passive is going to ruin the day of the Ever Chicken here. Yeah, the standard Chaos Warriors are just going to lose to Foot Squires. The magic, the Beast Magic was really punishing also. How do you break Bretonnia? Something silly like a Mutalith Beast? I don't think this would actually get much done, though. Although, I don't... maybe... Big chunky target. It's got terrible leadership is the problem. I mean, 65 is pretty abysmal. Probably just end up running before it can get anything done. Dragon Ogres are a little too lightly armored. Blood Beast, maybe. Maybe Tzeentch spawn, though. You know, the thing about Warriors of Chaos is you've got a million freaking options that you can bring. Locking in and, like, figuring out the intricacies of the matchups can definitely be a tall task. Great Weapon spam, Festus, Double Hero... Rot Knights. Okay. Oh, and the Severed Claw. That makes sense. That'd be a pretty good choice, too. Yeah, Archeon was playing a little too much Hero Hammer there. I mean, it was basically him versus the entire Bretonnian army. Alright, our round took, an eternity to get through. So, yep. Advancing Swiss. We'll get into round 2 here. We're going up against Space Pope. Who do we ban? We banned Norska last game, although, I don't know how many times we're going to end up facing Bretonnia, potentially. Oh, we might play Bretts again, okay. Space Pope is banning my main again. That's okay, though. I'm fine with it. Walkwood Elves and Lizards are going to be the choices again. I'll ban Doc. I don't want to play against the Demons of Chaos. They're going to be absolute hell to have to go up against. It's going to be a shit show for me. They're one of the factions that I've never been able to figure out. Alright, so Cathay versus... Cathay or Bretts versus Lizards. All right, so we've got Lizards versus Bretonnians this time, which I think will be a little bit easier to manage than Walk versus Bretonnia. We're on Rifts at World's Edge, which is a pretty wide map. We're gonna go join Space Pope's match. It's a really beautiful lobby name also. Nurgle's perfectly waxed bunghole. No, I don't think I'm gonna go with him. Mazda is very alluring to me, honestly. Don't think he's gonna be the best option here, though. Well, as to who is actually gonna be the best option is a totally different, question. You know what? We're gonna do it. This is not something that I ever pull out. It's not really my favorite build to run. But we've already lost our first game. We might as well do something entertaining, right? I don't know if we need Sacred Croxigors necessarily. I think we just go with like a ton of Cold One Spear Riders here. Colossedon Hunters in reserve as well, maybe. Might be a little too expensive. Just a Razordon, actually. A couple of Ferals for mass. ton of spears. We'll bring one regular old Kroxigor just to give the little skink buffs. Causing fear against Bretonnia could actually come in clutch for me. Actually, nah. I need to be able to counter knights to some degree. We'll see how this build works out. Armor check Brett's. I mean, we could. I'm not gonna, though. We're throwing shit at the wall tonight just to see what happens. What's going on elsewhere in bracket? Tittle Tavern will actually pull up here. I didn't actually see who ended up winning their first games. We'll check later, though. Oishi, Boss Toss, Ash, Blood Penguin, of course. Adam and Torsen are the undefeated players right now. I'll see if I can equalize and maybe sneak my way back into the top 4. It's going to be difficult. There's some really tough competition here. I've never actually played Space Pope either, so I have no idea what their play style is like. Keep these guys in a pretty tight formation so they don't just get completely dumpstered on the charge. A narrower front means they take a little bit less damage. We'll try and keep ourselves a little bit compacted to try and support ourselves. We're gonna have to play this very cagily. Space Pope's got a pretty small Bretonnian army, so it's not going to be anything like the one that we saw last game. But hopefully this build should still do pretty well. We've got lots of the abilities for the Slan Priest of Life. Just in case we get dove on, we've got Shield of the Old Ones, Aura of Quetzal for the extra armor and melee defense. Should make them a little bit tougher to actually kill. We've got some red-crested skinks. They're like the they're the discount Walmart bodyguard here for them. They're just gonna hang out by this guy and you know, try to do damage to anything that lands on top of him. Shredder of Luster is going to try and dominate one objective, and we're just going to try and bounce between 2 points. We're not going to do anything too crazy. Maybe we push the number 1, though. Because fighting in the woods, I think, is going to benefit us a lot more than Bretonnia. It's going to be pretty tough for their knights to get in there. You know, because it does debuff melee attack as well as speed, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. Moving up, we've got Mounted Yeoman out on the field. We've got Alberic instead of Luin this time. Damsel of Life, Grail Knights on the field, which is sick, dude. They're getting the extra bonus versus large, as well as Spirit of the Tempest from Alberic here. As long as the Shredder doesn't get completely surrounded, it should be okay, though. We'll just start bringing our own knights out onto the field. We've got superior cap weight over the Bretonnians. As long as we don't let ourselves get chunked down, we should be okay. Threatening the dive there, which is cheeky. We'll kind of move around here. We'll start moving up to the middle objective. Standard cudgels are going to hang out there, while the javelins are going to kind of chill here. Keep back. So we don't get overwhelmed on the flank here. We should be able to get the javelins on target here. We'll see about it. Capping the objective a little bit. We're going to get the Dread Saurian in just to actually start doing some big damage. Companions of Quenelle coming in, and we do have a dive coming back here onto my Coldwind Riders. I'm going to try and pull back some. Ooh, that's a beautiful trident, so we'll avoid the worst of that, hopefully. We did dodge. We did take some damage on our units, though. We're going to get another Coldwind Knight out. And we'll get our big boy out of there. Companions of Quenelle are trying to surround right now. That's going to hurt a lot if we do get trapped in here. Push out, keep chasing, get the next Coldwind Spear Rider moving up, and just keep chunking javelins into every target that we possibly can hit. We'll take the fight here in the middle. We're going to drop a Blood Statue out of spite on the Companions as well. We could drop the Banishment, but I don't think it's super necessary, and I think we can collapse here and get some big damage on these guys. Get these guys back here. We're going to get the Knights of the Realm. We're going to flatten our poor little skinks over there, but it's going to be better than nothing. We're going to drop a big overcasted Earthblood here, as well as a Regrowth. We'll pop Aura of Quetzal. We'll get the Shield of the Old Ones, which is a little bit misallocated, but it should be alright. Could be a little bit better targeted. The Banishment's hitting a lot of these spearmen at arms, which isn't doing too bad for me. Trying to get the javelins back online, and we need to get another Coldwind Rider out. We're just gonna commit to bringing these guys out onto the field. Let's get our Slan back into the formation and get a heal on the Shredder for real this time. He's chunking damage out of Alberic right now. We're losing the fight out there on that flank. We'll get a Feral Coldwind in, just to try and stop some of the worst damage that might come in on my formation now. Pull back here. We're gonna run over here and try and beat up on these guys. Just need to stay away from that. We need to pull back and get these skink cohorts into the battle here. We need to not get rear charged. That's one of the most important things I can do right now. We get up here in the middle. We'll start getting some big overcasted Earthbloods on all these targets here. We do have some units moving into combat against me. That should be a really nice one. I know I'm not hitting the extra big boy. It's not going to be the worst situation in the world, though, missing out on that one heal, though. So you need to keep countercharging the Knights. And we'll get the Shredder moving in to help the frontline engagement there. pull one of these guys back. Get them rolling in there. We've got another Cold One Knight coming out. Need to try and stay next to the Feral Saurian here. Drop a really nice one out here. Blood Statue of Spite onto Grail Knights. Come on, give me it on the Grail Knights. Did it actually go off on them? Yeah, it did actually hit them. So the Grail Knights are taking some big damage right now. We've got a good surround on the Companions as well. And we're beating up on Alberic again. We'll even get this guy back in here. Collapsing on that flank. We'll try and get the Spear Riders on top of him. Let's see if we can dodge that. Crushing the Knights of the Realm out here on this flank as well. We'll cast an we'll get an overcasted regrowth going here. We should do some really good stuff for me. We'll start bringing up some Saurus Spears. We need some more durable infantry on the field. Grail Knights did actually beat the Cold One Riders that I had available there. Overcast this. We'll save that. We're losing our other Cold One Riders out here. It's a little too far away for the banishment. Alberic is landing in here. We might be able to kill him here, and that would probably flip the game around for us. Because right now, we're winning with our big stuff, but a lot of our other units on the field are getting isolated right now. Which is very brutal. Lots of Knights Errant on the field. We need to get the as much mobile cap weight out as possible. Or as much durable cap weight out as possible. Fighting here in the pit. Knights of the Realm trying to chunk through me. We can cast the Banishment on top here. And it might do enough damage to these Knights of the Realm to get them off of me. Let's get these guys forward. Let's get these guys moving. We've got Knights Errant coming in. We can probably collapse on them. We need to get back to the middle objective and try and kill these freaking Grail Knights. We don't need to overextend anywhere on the field right now. Royal Pegasus Knights coming out. Let's hang out here. See if we can get them stuck on the cohort. We are going to have to play whack-a-mole with the Bretonnians here. We get a decent charge on the Knights Errant, but the Grail Knights are very healthy. We're going to see if we can rotate around and get after these guys. Let's get all these folks moving up. Unsummon you guys. We'll actually move one spear over now. Knights Errant going down, which is really good for me. We'll save up for Cold One Rider. We need to keep our Slan nice and safe here. Spears should be able to accomplish that. He's just going to squeeze between all these guys, and we're going to pop Aura of Quetzal, which will do us some, get some pretty good value for us, just keeping those guys extra healthy while they're engaged against these Cav here. He is pulling out now. Trying to get the Saurus Spears up. Another Cold One Rider. Let's get these Knights here too. Pegasus Knights committing to the fight. Let's try and... We gotta get away from, Alberic, actually. Alberic actually gets, broken. Oh, that's brutal, man. That was a really good opportunity for my opponent, but, him losing his leadership there, really not good. Keep all these guys going after the Knights Errant. We've got the, Dread Saurian going after the Knights of the Realm. And we'll get over here eventually. We might be able to save this objective with just the Spear Riders. We need to just keep the Slan as close in as possible. I forgot about these Feral Cold Ones somehow. I really have no clue how. We'll pop that there just to keep those guys in the fight as long as possible. They're taking a ton of damage right now. Hanging out in the middle with our boys. We'll pop a Shield of the Old Ones to keep them healthy, and we'll get over on this objective now. We've got a ton of garbage just routing in the woods here. Knights Errant are over there. There's 23 Grail Knights left in this unit, man. They've been absolutely ridiculous. Very difficult to break. We don't need to charge those spears. This is a total waste of my time. Get the charge there. And I'll bring out a Razordon, and we'll see what we can do to protect these guys with the Feral Cold Ones and the Spear Riders. They should be really good at shooting down Pegasus Knights as they try to dive in here. Killing the Grell Relique will keep our mobility together. Spear Riders with the Shredder here, man. Doing really nice work for me. Grell Knights are cleaning up a little bit, and we do get a full commit to try and snipe the Slan. We'll actually pop Aura of Quetzal first, and we'll actually use an Overcasted Earthblood. See what we can do there.
Unending glory is yours.
Okay. We got one win under our belt. Oh my god. That felt way more stressful than it needed to be. Could have had an extra leadership, you're so right. I'm sure the one leadership would have come in really clutch somewhere along the line. Skinks did alright, they got decent value. Skink cohorts did what they do. Red Cresteds didn't do all that much, but we got some decent value out of the Slan Mage Priest. The Banishments actually did a lot of damage for us. And the Shredder got 4,500 value, more than paying for itself, which was really awesome. Spear Riders, they did okay. Maybe I should have just brought out a spear earlier. Or just done something like this, I guess. And then maybe in reserve you bring a bunch of cohorts as mobile cap weight. I don't know, there's a lot of ways that I feel like you could probably play the Lizards versus Bretonnia matchup. So I think Talabheim Crater is going to be the next map. Oh, Oasis of Zedri, then we have Talabheim Crater. So the next two maps are pretty massive. Very large battlefields. We'll see what we can do factions-wise on this next map. I'm going to try and prioritize one of the factions that has very aggressive Vanguard forces. Probably the Wood Elves. Because Oasis, unlike Talabheim Crater, has very aggressive Vanguard points. So being able to get units up onto the objectives quickly on this map is going to be pretty huge. Might try a debuff build with the Glade Lord. So I think that would actually be pretty interesting to play around with. Like a Wood Elf Kite, or a Wood Elf Rush build rather. Where you bring this guy, you pop Helm of Discord for a big engagement. Try and crush isolated positions that your enemies got on the field. Maybe we can use some Deepwood Scouts to accomplish that. I'd bring Way Watchers, but I'm not super confident in my ability to protect those guys. Maybe the Hawkeyes of Drakira would be a cheeky unit to bring in. Bring them in Vanguard. See what my opponents are going to end up bringing. But I think I'm going to try going for a very aggressive Wood Elf build. Triple Wild Rider in the opening would be pretty insane. Or we can do what Tom has been showing off a lot in some of his games with the Double Sisters of the Thorn. Yeah, let's go we'll take a look at the maps now even, just for you. While we've got the opportunity to spoiler. Proving Grounds. Dusted Steppe isn't super common. I actually have no idea about this map myself. I'd probably recognize it in a pinch. Kassar's Cursed Oasis is a split push map. Decrepit Moor has a home objective, I know. We can check out Proving Grounds real quick. We make sure that the tournament is proceeding smoothly. I gotta report my game. I actually forgot. Hell, there they are. It bothers me that the drop-down list for all the factions isn't in alphabetical order. That may be a little bit unreasonable, but it's a personal gripe of mine. We've got one game left, so let's we'll just auto-generate some armies real quick. Boop boop. And we'll get a little peek here. That's right. So you've got Proving Grounds, which is the pretty wide split pushing map. It's not one of the it's not one of the bigger maps that's out there, but it's like a medium-sized one. You've got each side has it's mirrored pretty perfectly. Each side has a woods that they can stick missile units in and shoot out onto the number 3 objective. And then you can also, you know, keep stuff hidden and jump out there whenever you need to. Very aggressive vanguards that give you some flexibility in terms of where you want to send units. You can actually loop up onto the plateau here and swing around pretty easily on people. I've noticed that there's a tendency, especially for newer players, to not check these really wide flanks here. And give you a little leg up. But this is what Proving Grounds looks like. It's pretty straightforward. There's nothing too insane on this one.
You'll have invested.
Yeah, Pope played a really close game. He did definitely make some really good moves in the early going. He got a ton of damage off on the Shredder, but that's the nice thing about the life magic with the Shredder is you can just heal cap that thing with 2 good regrowths, and you've still got plenty of Earthbloods for some of your supporting forces after that. What were the other maps? We had Decrepit Moor. Kassar's was the last one for the Swiss rounds. Dusted Steppe. Dusted Steppe I need to check out anyways. I don't know why I'm blanking on this map so hard. Very epic Be'lakor army right here. Be'lakor is ridiculously expensive with all of his stuff. He's like 4,400 gold. You know, there's never a circumstance where you bring him with all of his abilities. But it's kind of hard to pare him down sometimes, because he's got some really cool stuff. You know, he was really overpowered for a while. It took a little while for CA to bring him under control. Still waiting on the last game to finish. This is Dusted Steppe. I see people play on here all the time. I'm definitely one of those people where you tell me something, and I'll remember it, but then when you ask me the question point blank, my mind just goes completely slack. The only thing that I'm good at remembering is historical facts. I had to get a degree in something, so that's my one big strength. And Total War knowledge. We'll kick it off. What are all the abilities that Be'lakor has again? Dark Master is pretty nice. Minus 40 melee attack. Shadow Shroud is pretty insane. I mean, 60% ward save on a Lord is pretty nutty. And it's every 120 seconds. 22-second duration, which is pretty decent, man. I mean, you can really get in and do some bullying with Be'lakor in a pinch. It's also got Blade of Shadow. Not really going to get a lot of use out of that. It takes forever to charge up. It doesn't even give him that many great benefits. It's honestly like a worse version of Skarbrand's Slaughter and Carnage, which is already pretty terrible. But you do get a passive heal on him when there's wavering or routing units around him. And then Whispers in the Dark can help get units to that breakpoint by lowering leadership and removing immune to psychology. You know, he might actually be interesting to try out in the Slaanesh matchup now that I'm thinking about it. I'd be really curious to see how Be'lakor does there. Because he does have shadow magic. So he can definitely just pop Melkoths on Hellstriders in Seekers all game. Huh. I'll come back to that some other time. In the meantime, though, we'll stay focused here, and we're advancing the Swiss tournament forward. We're going up against Adam, which is going to be awesome. So I am on top here. And we'll roll it. Who did Alexander get rematched with? Hot Saucer Man? Okay, who do we need to swap games around for? We're going to fix a rematch for somebody real quick. It shouldn't take too long, though. Should be pretty straightforward. Space Pope has not played Alexander, right? No, so Alexander is going to play Space Pope. And Hot Saucer Man will play Soder. I think that'd be pretty fair. I haven't actually seen Soder play before. I don't know who this is. Relative newcomer, I guess. There we go. Okay, cool. Let me just ping everybody. All right, Adam. Let's see it. We got to do our global bans, so. Hmm. Who do I want to ban out? You know what? I'm not going to ban out Korn, even though I know Adam is a Korn main. I'm going to give him an opportunity to show me what he can do, because we haven't actually played before. I've been giving him a lot of advice on how to play the matchups, so I really want to see what he can actually get done. Do the cliffs block LOS to units that are on top if the opponent is below? It kind of does on Proving Grounds. But most of the map is going to be visible because the LOS sightlines are kind of funky. Opponents are more than likely going to be able to see the stuff on top of the plateau. Damn, he banned out Wood Elves. No! I was hoping we would do Korn versus Wood Elves. But yeah, the spoiler, you can't count on opponents to not be able to see the units that are on top of the cliffs. But, like I said, especially in like a newer player tournament like you're going to be in, you can use those pathways to get some deep flanks onto like opponents' artillery in the right circumstances. What is the other faction that we're going to take since he banned my Wood Elves away? I was really looking forward to potentially playing them here. Don't need to make a whole lobby. Walk Lizards, and then Dark Elves, maybe? Not a very good Dark Elf player, though. But we'll throw him in here, just to try him out. Alright, sweet. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go Dark Elves. We'll see what we can do against Khorne with the Dark Elves. It's going to be a very interesting fight. Make sure that we're on Oasis. Who are we gonna choose? Malice is a little too vulnerable against Khorne in my experience. He honestly gets folded up pretty badly by them on the reg. Get really ugly for you. I think maybe we go with the big boy. I mean, he's just so goddamn strong. Could also go Beast Magic for debuffing potential. How cheap is the, It's not bad either. Still think the extra little bit of damage that Malekith does, though, is going to be worth it. Like, why would you not bring the Witch King? Too hard of a temptation to resist, in my opinion. I don't think we want to bring a bunch of chaff infantry. We'll swap away for a minute. We'll flip over here for you guys. Never mind. Swapping windows around on OBS is a frustrating effort sometimes. I don't think Adam's going to snipe me anyways, so it's not even a big deal. Definitely need the bow cav. They're going to be very instrumental for me in, you know, causing a bunch of damage to the Khorne front line. Do I bring Black Ark Corsairs? I don't think so. Just some Dread Spears will probably be pretty nice. Manticore? Nah, not a Manticore. We'll bring a Witch Elf and we'll give it the Chevron here. Couple more of these guys. I don't know about Harganeth Executioners. I can't really see them being all that good, honestly. Sisters of Singing Doom. They do cost Terror. Terror is honestly underrated against Khorne. I don't see people give it enough respect, because Khorne units are pretty easy to terrify off the field, in all honesty. Dark Riders, a couple of them will be nice. I don't think we can bring too many of them. I think Shades are also a really bad idea here. I'm going to get ripped apart by Furies. Anything really static and immobile against Khorne is not going to do very well. Just way too vulnerable against the harass. There we go. Something like this might work. We'll have to see about it, though. It's going to be a tough matchup, no matter how I shake it out. Who is Adam beaten? Oh, beat Alexander and then lost to Blood Penguin. Pretty appropriate. Not 100% sure what I need to bring out first. Probably Cold One Knights. So the idea that I've got here, the intention behind the build at least, is to use the Corsair handbows to do a lot of kiting. Trying to gun down any of the Wrathmongers or Minotaurs, Furies, Fleshhounds, anything like that that tries to pursue these guys. They're pretty quick with the foot speed. I've got 40 speed on foot here. The Scourge Runner Chariots and the Cold One Knights are going to give them some cover. These guys are like heavy-hitting AP that can definitely chew into the more elite options for mobility that Khorne might bring in. Skull Crushers, Heralds. Even against Fleshhounds and Minotaurs, these guys are pretty cost-effective. And their good infantry clearing capability is going to come in handy, too. Very good at getting side charges and running down Marauders, especially. Witch Elves are here just to chew through stuff. Witch Brew is a great item. Does a ton of damage. Or gives them a ton of extra damage whenever it's active. Okay, sweet. Good to know, Starbrand. That kind of makes sense. Dark Elves hit really freaking hard. I don't know how the hell they've ended up at the bottom of the stats right now. Like, they're at 35% win rate. Does not seem very accurate, in my opinion. And some of the factions that they're losing to, I find a little surprising as well. Skaven makes sense, but Chaos Dowie, Vampire counts to some degree. Even Beastmen, I'm not 100% sold on Dark Elves losing all that badly. It's probably really tricky playing into Beastmen, though. Yeah, actually, I guess Razorgore Chariots are really good at running over the chaff. And then the mobility that the Beastmen have is really good at punishing the Dark Elves. But going completely winless against them with 6 games being played is still a little shocking. Dark Elves are beating Bretonnia, Nurgle, Lizardmen, Tzeentch. 50-50 with the Dark Elves, losing a little bit against the High Elves, Empire, Wood Elves, Norska. Pretty bad win rate against Khorne. We'll try and even that up, though. Because of how much... Yeah, Micro, I imagine, is probably the sticking point on them. I mean, they're certainly not my choice for a new player faction. I think any of the Chaos factions are a better option for newer players, personally. But in terms of, like, having a really high skill ceiling, Dark Elves are probably up there. They've got a really strong roster. Especially after the changes to the Cold One Knights. Now that they're not garbage tier, should be in a pretty dominant position. They were dominating last season. Just to harp on that point again. Got a nice small Khorne force. We'll hold off on fire at will on those guys. We're just going to slowly trundle up our repeater crossbow corps to the middle objective. I'm going to need to keep an eye out for Valkia, who can really shred those guys. We're going to play a very risky game on our back objective. We'll see how dedicated Adam is to the dive. Malik can also kind of fly between the points and protect these dudes.
Malekith.
Dread spears. Merciless warriors.
Alright, if we get a hard commit onto the Handbow Corps, we'll pull the Dread Spears and the Witch Elves into wherever they need to go in order to maximize value out of them and buffer for those guys. Do you see Valkia? We've got... what else out here? Lots of Marauders, some Khorne Gores, always a pretty good option. Ooh, Chaos Warriors. Quite a few of them. 3 Chaos Warriors, too. Wow. Okay. Well, the Scourge Runners don't care about shields, really. They can actually blast through those pretty effectively. I actually forgot about the water here. Aquatics map. There are Bloodwake Berserkers out and about, but I think I'll start developing my Cold One Knight mobility. Cold One Knights will be able to do decent shock damage to the Bloodwake Berserkers in a pinch. We'll get forward. Malekith's gonna go after Valkia. We'll see how good Adam's micro is on our girl boss over here. I think this map got changed a little bit. I remember there being, like, actual hills here instead of being, like, in the water, which is odd now, honestly. Ooh, that's nice damage, honestly. It does land with Valkia, but we should be able to just pull right out of that position. You know, skin off our back. It actually did a decent chunk of damage there. We're gonna run away. Back up in the sky. We'll see what kind of damage we can get with the handbows.
Carnage awaits.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Attack!
Valkia is a little out of position here again. She's way overextended, honestly.
Chosen
It does pull her back, though. Really good call. We're going to get up here. We're going to need our Cold One Knights all forward here. Because we're going to have to take a... we're going to have to do something here. It's a lot of armored Chaos Infantry here. It's going to take a little bit of time to wear these dudes down, but it should be worth it in the long term. We're going to pull back and just commit to the kite some. Let's get some shots in here with the Scourge Runners. Hammer home. Dread Spears can come forward. We'll rock up here and chill. We don't need to land, but I think we can actually engage the Witch Elves, take the damage on the nose, and still end up being okay. Our Repeater Crossbows need to get back. The Scourge Runners, I'm going to swap them onto melee mode and put them on fire at will. And we'll charge these guys down here and do some pretty good damage. Sleipnir is going down, does do a little bit of poke against me. Nothing too disastrous, though. Let's get a breath attack here. Should give me some disgusting value. And we'll keep the Scourge Runners moving. These are also Chaos Warriors. We killed the Hounds of the Blood Hunt. We can get these guys back. We've got a good position of firing in against all of these guys. We're going to land on top of Valkia here and get some big damage on her. Khorngors are coming up. Perfect target for the Repeater Handbows, honestly. And we'll move the Scourge Runners over there to do some damage to them also. Not playing very aggressively onto my back objective, which I think is a big mistake. We'll start bringing up the Witch Elves. They're going to have to do a little bit of something here. Get away from the Bloodwake Berserkers if possible. We actually do need to keep moving here. Let's get back up in the air. Let's punish these Furies. Keep the Scourge Runners over here. You know, we've got our back objective here. Maybe we can make a push for the enemy's home objective. We forgot to get our Witch Brew off on these Witch Elves, which is really unfortunate. That was a big mistake on my part. Here we go. Let's make sure we pop this on Valkia proper. We've let our Cold One Knights get caught over here, which is a big mistake. We're going to have to kite back some. Having to commit big time to this grind here. We'll pop Witch Brew. Now should be able to get some big damage down. We might be able to kill Valkia. I think we're going to have to be able to here. Just going to keep kiting away. Those guys are very unsupported right now, which is a big risk on my part. Valkia takes a ton of damage. We'll get back up in the air. We'll keep kiting back. We'll hammer now. Should get me some pretty good value. And we'll come over here and run these guys down. We're doing pretty well in terms of the value trading, but we need to get some hard AP in here to deal with the Khorngors. Because those are going to be really obnoxious to have to deal with into the late game. Let's land on the Bloodwake Berserkers. Let's push up some more Witch Elves. And maybe another Dark Rider would be a good idea. These guys can come back. Scourge Runners are doing nicely. Just need to keep them going. We're going to keep working down the Bloodwake Berserkers here. You know, Bloodwake Berserkers are a great unit, but they're pretty squishy, all things considered. I think now that people are kind of figuring them out, I don't think they're going to be a mainstay in every single matchup like they were for quite a while, honestly. Witch Elves might be able to finish this fight here. The Scourge Runners. I'm going to go run over these Marauders, actually. We'll rally back. We're still doing well in the value trade game. We'll keep pushing these guys forward. Need to be ready for these Furies to land on top of the Dark Riders. Although they don't actually land on the Dark Riders. They're going after some of my other units right now. Losing a Cold One Knight, not great. Not the worst thing in the world, though. Another Witch Elf, and then we'll start pushing the, this back point now. Got more Khorne Warriors coming out. Oh, that's perfect timing for me. And we got the Murderous Mastery, proccing at the same time here. We're actually in a breath attack. I've been a little lax on the breath attacks, not super on point with them. Should be able to get some good value out of this one, though. We'll dive bomb with Mali here. Pull back, get over here, get these guys to come kill the Khorngors. Although we might be able to pincushion them with the hand bows. Where are my Witch Elves? They're coming. Okay. And we did lose one of the Scourge Runners. That's really unfortunate. Whatever, though. It got us pretty good value, I think. Yeah, it paid for itself. That's good enough for me. Keep shooting here. Need to keep a really close eye on that fight over there. We're running over the middle objective, though, now. I mean, we just terror-rated everything that Khorne has. Cold One Knight's gonna pull out. We're gonna get these guys on the flank and shooting again. Chase those guys down. And start unsummoning the Witch Elves that we've got that really don't have any HP to work with right now. Get back up with the air, go after Valkia. Oh, that's a fat Slaughnir. Oh, no, ow. That's brutal, man. Really brutal. We have a Dread Spear over. Unsummon this guy. What else have we got? Dark Riders ain't gonna be bad now. They'll be able to hammer some stuff down. I think we'll use the Soul Stealer on Valkia. Valkia does land, which is the wrong decision there. She's not going to be able to survive that. She's better staying in the air. Once she lands, she loses a ton of speed, actually. Get really bad for her. She really can't escape after that.
Unending glory is yours.
GG's, Adam. You can see the Bloodweight Berserkers, man, they still got 1200 value, but at least we were able to deal with them without taking a ridiculous amount of damage from them. The repeater crossbows were great, man. They all got me pretty good value for the most part. This one didn't do nearly as well as the other two, though. That's fine. Malekith did awesome. Dread Spears kind of got run over. Witch Elves all did decently. Nothing incredible to report back on. And the Cold One Knights I could have been a little bit more on point with. Oh, yeah, the Crone. I love Crone Hellebron. She's definitely something to keep an eye on in the future. What other builds would do really well there? What does Crone Hellebron bring, though? Do you bring her on the Manticore? Scarbrand, if you're still here, let me know what you bring Crone Hellebron on. Because I am very curious to see that build in action. Blood Frenzy doesn't seem all that great. Although I guess if you hard commit into the abilities... Excuse me. It makes the fight a little bit better for her. Probably do need to commit pretty hard with the items and abilities to get the most out of Crone here. Vigor reduction is really nice. Just kind of flimsy, though. 5,400 HP, that's it? What about on the Cauldron? Dang, that's pretty insane, honestly. Cursed Blade's a pretty good, Mortis engine as well. All enemies losing in melee combat take 13 to 27 damage per second. Which isn't bad. Chronon Foot or on Shrine. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I mean, you get the Fury of Cain just, like, bound to the shrine itself. You know, I imagine giving her the Witch Brews isn't an awful decision either, and bringing Gaze of Cain too. I imagine that's the big money maker for the Cold One Knights. So maybe that, and then you bring a dirt cheap caster. And if you're going up against Khorne, not Fire Magic, where is it? Here it is. Curse of Honor here I've seen do really well against the Blood God. Maybe something like this. I mean, this is cheaper than the Lord we just brought, in fact, so... only by 50 gold, but whatever. 50 gold is 50 gold. Can make a big difference for builds. If you bring something like this, do you commit to some other units, is the question. Perhaps. Sisters of Slaughter, are they... I don't see them doing well against Khorne. They're way too lightly armored. They'll just get munched on by even basic Marauders, surely. Surely that's a terrible decision. Oh, Doom and Darkness. That's a good idea. She calls terror on the shrine? She does. Oh. Oh, that's dirty. Talk dirty to me, baby. So, Dark Steed, Doom and Darkness. I don't think you really need life leeching, do you? I mean, you'll get a ton of uses out of Doom and Darkness, though, doing this. Minus 16 leadership. Oh, and you can bring Aspect of the Dread Knight also. Yeah. Life Leeching does give you 2 wins of magic back every time you cast. That's a pretty good rebate on these cheap spells. That's Value City, honestly, now that I'm looking at it. So, I kind of like the idea of bringing the Life Leeching. I don't know if you really need the power recharge. It does give you one WOM every 6 seconds instead of every 9 seconds, but if you're going with cheap spells like this, maybe it's fine. I'd have to actually play around with this to see how it works out. Yeah, Spirit Leech does well into Valkia, but, I don't know. Into Skull Taker, I don't see that going well at all. And I think Skull Taker's honestly the best option against the Dark Elves. He is insane. I mean, he's so hard to shoot down. Like, even with the AP missiles that the Dark Elves have. I don't know. I'll keep it all in mind. I'll play around with it sometime. I don't play a lot of Dark Elves, so they're not like the, they're not the faction that I would be doing a ton of experimentation with. I just brought a nice chunky little build that I felt fairly confident with that game. Where are Dark Elves? There they are. We've got Khorne, so we'll report the game. We've got one more that's still ongoing, it says. Should be done here in a moment, though. Saucer and Soder are the culprits here. Okay, and they did acknowledge the bracket change I made, so they do know that they're playing one another. I imagine they're just, like, actively in game right now. What other factions might I play tonight? Do I just go absolutely ham in the final round and pick factions that I never play? I never play Dowie. Dowie have to be my least favorite faction in the game. I love watching people play them, but all of your units feeling so slow is not enjoyable to me, personally. Oh, they did move Ulrika down into the extended roster. She was part of the regular Dowie hero options at one point, right? Am I wrong in that? I could have sworn there was a time that people were bringing Ulrika with the Dowie. Go Walk. Yeah, I can play Walk. They're one of my other mainstays. I played them in the first round and got bounced by Blood Penguin, who was playing Bretonnia. But I think a lot of that was mostly due to unfamiliarity with the matchup. Potion Stream, Miasma. What did Harrison say about the matchup against the Bretonians? Great weapon spam, Festus double hero. Is he talking about double exalted heroes of Nurgle? Oh. Of Tzeentch would be pretty sick. Oh. This is a dirty build. You can just use a Book of Secrets to try and wear down all the knights, maybe? Oh my god, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what? Maybe the Mirror Guard wouldn't even be a bad idea. Giving extra melee defense to Festus? It'd make him insanely difficult to snipe, so... honestly don't hate that idea. I don't think you need all of those to be great weapons, right? Imagine a little width will do you some good here. One Hellscourge Marauder. Maybe. Just some javelins, maybe. Did get outranged really badly by the longbows. Forsaken were pretty terrible. I guess you do just go full armor check. Like, what? Seriously, what else are you gonna do? Nine units, fine. I'll live with it, I guess. Maybe bring the blood beasts. Some throwing axes. Bring a bunch of them, probably. What else do you want? Chaos Knights just to answer speed for speed. And then Marauders in the late game. That might work against Bretonnia. Yeah, aspiring champions. Look, we've all got our vices, Scarbrand. They should be about ready. Let me check. Okay, yeah, it is ready to advance. Oh, let's go. We're up against Alexander this round. How are we looking? It's going to be really tight getting into the top 4. I don't think we're going to be able to manage it. We're going to need a lot of luck with tiebreakers to actually get in. It's always possible. I mean, Blood Penguin and Boss Toss are playing, so we're going to have a loss from one of them. And Ash and Oishi are playing also. Okay. Well, let's get our final game going. We got one more rematch. Hold on. Rasan and Soder already played? They did, okay. Okay. Now, we'll just keep this simple. So, Space Pope and Soda are gonna play like they were supposed to last round. And then Rasan and Space Pope are gonna play because they have not played yet. Okay, perfect. Oh, whoops, hold on. Not Rasan and Space Pope. Hot Saucer Man and Rasan. Okay. Alexander banned Korn. I'm gonna ban... Who am I gonna ban? I don't even know who I'm gonna ban. Nurgle, I guess. We'll be going up against Vampire Coast, or we'll be fighting the Dowie here. Not sure which matchup I want to take. It depends on who I have access to. I mean, oh yeah, that's right. I get to pick whoever I want. I always forget. Keep forgetting that about this tournament format. So let's see. Up against the Dowie, who would be really good. Warriors wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be a great faction against them either, though. Actually, we're gonna be in Tomb Kings. Are we, though? Hold on. Give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna have to run down my options for who I'm gonna be playing here. Lizards into Dowie, not amazing. Lizards into Vampire Coast. Lizards into Vampire Coast, probably not a terrible matchup, honestly. Do we play Norska? We'll play Warriors. Ban Dowie and play Warriors. What's going to be the best option against the undead? In terms of magic. Probably going to be facing off against them, so need to be getting some game plan running here. I do like fire magic. It's pretty effective, but maybe I'm going to go with some maybe I'm going to go with some village action. Might not be bad against the Vampire Coast. Oh, we're going Tomb Kings versus Warriors. Maybe. Still hasn't declared. Just looking over his options, it looks like. Are armored trolls good against undead? Do cause fear. They can get terror routed. Seen the results of that already. Alright, so we got Warriors versus Coast here. No idea how to play the matchup, but we'll figure it out. Archie did pretty good for us last time. Maybe not a bad option here. Sartorial is always a choice, although Sartorial is probably pretty vulnerable to the Gaze of Nagash sniping. Maybe Archie is the right play. Alright, the Crown of Domination actually seems like it'd be a pretty good idea to bring. We're gonna need a very heavy metal build here to deal with the Vampire Coast, I think. Maybe we go with maybe Festus does work here. I don't know, though. Festus is not the bestest in my experience. I've really struggled to find a lot of use for him. Archaon is just so flexible, man. He's gonna be pretty vulnerable on the horse, though. Might get shot down. Sigvald's not a bad option. Lots of armor, some marauders as well. What else do we want? Is the Soul of Damnation any good against undead? You know, on Talabheim Crater it might actually work. Ooh, this is a very silly idea, but I think I might actually be silly enough to bring it. Dual weapon warrior? Maybe. Couple Hellstriders, we got the Rotting Riders, we've got the Soul of Damnation. Really dirt cheap Firecaster. Probably not a bad idea. We'll bring the Forbidden Rod on him too. Just Burning Head. Burning Head and Flamestorm? Yeah, maybe. We'll see about it. Don't think I need any Forsaken here. Maybe one. Couple Trolls might not be a bad idea. Or maybe we bring Chaos Spawn. No, they're gonna get gunned down by the crappy pistols pretty quickly, aren't they? You know what? Forgetting about the most heavy metal infantry in the game right now. Is the Sibilant Slaughtercade a terrible idea? Probably, but we'll go for it anyways. This is gonna be very vulnerable to a like a crab heavy build, but we'll see about it. Experimentation is the spice of life, after all. Alright, guys.
Slay every mortal. Agony
Let's see
and
about it.
ecstasy.
I do have trees to hide in. There's an open ground objective over there that I don't feel very confident in getting to.
That's what the masters bid.
It's a fucking huge map. Oh my god. It's ridiculous how large it is. See what we can do, though.
Tremble, mortals. My gods call. It will be gratifying. Yes, Lord. The dark gods command me. For chaos! Chaos comes.
Alright, and we'll move up. I have no idea what my opponent has. We're gonna have to get up on the hilltop to find out for sure. Oh my god, we've got bomber bats coming in. Is it gonna be like a full Air Force build? That'd be pretty insane. I'm not ready for that either. I do have horsemen. It's double crab build. Okay. Aranessa, Vampire Caster with Invo and Drowned Dead.
Ready for agony.
Let's go run over this stuff. We'll bring the Firecaster out.
Chaos sorcerer.
We're gonna play objectives. We're gonna have to, honestly.
Ah! Move. In search of sensation. Delectable.
We'll get up the horsemen. Horsemen are gonna chunk down the bomber bats here.
All shall die with endless excess. Dealing
Turn around here. Get up to the high ground. Getting some attacks in. We'll try to kite back away from the bombs. Avoid the worst of the damage here. Keep running away, moving all of our infantry over, flattening these guns out in the open field here. See if we can get away from what's her face. Oh please, get away. I have to do some pretty hard rotating here. Bomber bats are very weak, honestly, in a lot of ways, so we might be okay. We're gonna get after, push back away. Try and get away from the rotting leviathans. We'll move up here, get after the bomber bats and finish those guys off, because they're pretty weak right now.
We have a victory point.
Just
Keep it from
fucking
the
run
foe.
away from the crabs. I don't want to mess with the Stabo at all.
Time to despoil. Drag us to the souls. The world will burn. Very well.
We're gonna get the Rotting Riders out here eventually. They're gonna be my next summon in, I think. these guys over. Sigvald is going to have to somehow survive. I have no idea how he's going to manage it, but that's kind of the only thing that I can count on right now. If he keeps getting punted around, it might be okay for me. Gonna run over all this stuff in the open field. We're gonna get on top of all these guns here and compromise them. Get these guys moving forward. We're gonna get a disgusting burning head here. I'm gonna just push past. I mean, we don't need to engage the crabs. Honestly. Just need to poke at them, force heals out of them, and try to stay away with Sigvald. That burning head was great. Oh, that was such a good burning head.
I am channeling. Torment them. Kill them. Arcane torment awaits. Now! For the Chaos Gods! Seas of blood!
We're hanging on to this objective as well. Now we got the Rotting Riders out, baby. Let's go. Okay. Keep running away. Flamestorm on top of all of this blobbed up garbage. Probably going to do some pretty good work for me. Oh, it takes a perfect rotation, too. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, game.
Your will? Deliver slaughter!
Really gotta love it when the Warhammer gods come through for you. Let's get another burning head going through here, just to finish off all that stuff, and we'll send the Rotting Riders over to start answering that crab now.
Very good. Chaos Warriors! All will be despoiled. Run! Close on the sheep! Ditches will.
Got Morghuls here, who are going to get hard countered by the units I've got at this objective. Running around, fighting all of these targets. And what do I need now? Trolls. Trolls going to be pretty good here. Be able to hammer stuff down. Just need to stay as mobile as possible. I'm trying to fight this big guy now. Doing big damage. Depth Guard polearms are doing some work, but we're wearing them out. I'm gonna get over there and drop a Flamestorm, I think.
Fear our speed! Marauder horsemen! Born to suffer! For Slaanesh's pleasure! Take it, Summoner! I serve the beast! Chaos will reign!
Let's get these guys out here. We're dominating the points pretty nicely. Just move away. Charge down the Morghuls and isolate the big crab. Crab is gonna die here. It's gonna be glorious when it goes down too. Lots of summons here. Yeah, those are the gun summons. We just need to get away from the polearms here.
Slaanesh's perverse glory!
Faster! Quick!
Forward!
Finally lost that point, but we do have a good position here. We got a lot of targets isolated.
Marauder horsemen!
Don't have great answers to the Depth Guard. Depth Guard with the polearms are going to be really tricky here. And just keep committing Chaos Warriors into the fight against them. Let's try and kill Aranessa. Rotting Riders are going to get a charge here and do some decent damage. We're going to try and rotate away. A bunch of rallying stuff here. Depth guard moving across the field. We need to keep the rotting riders healthy.
Corruption.
Begin the reaping.
Tremble, boy.
Sigvald needs to run the hell away.
Clean magic. Make them will. Time for the spoil.
Rotting riders are going to finish off this crab, and we're going to rotate back to the middle and start trying to kill all of this stuff here. More Hell Scourges, not a bad idea. Just keep running with our boy.
Hunt them down!
Running.
Need to just block all these guys out, and then we'll just get a fat Flamestorm there. Come what may, we'll see what it does.
Kill them all.
Didn't do great damage for me.
Noggle guides us.
We've got one Rotting Leviathan crumbling. We're going to get away with the Rotting Riders now and try to regen as much HP as possible.
Putrefaction on them. Pours bloody glory.
Just need to hang on to these points.
Onward.
He's got a bunch of stuff coming in a second wave, but we're crushing his army right now. We just need to play whack-a-mole on the points, I think, and we win here. Not commit too hard to any one location. And I think we'll have it on lockdown here.
Chaos Marauders.
My Dark Prince calls.
Withdraw for now.
Souls for Slanesh!
Chaos Sorcerer.
The pangs of
Just hold on this point for a bit.
Chaos Sorcerer.
Let's get back here and charge these guns down, maybe, just with these guys, just to get any kind of damage on them right now. The Rotting Riders are going to help flatten the ghostly sirens here. Let's get out of there. Good catch.
Justin!
driven by pain!
Taking some big damage there.
Yes!
Woeful time.
Flamestorm's gonna be fat. Killing the sirens is pretty huge. We're gonna come run over the stuff over here. We're gonna retake the number 3 objective. We commit everything we've got over there. I'm gonna keep all of our tattered stuff moving around out here, just to threaten this objective later in the game. We need to unsummon stuff. I don't want too many tattered units left out on the field. It's not going to do me any favors in the late game.
Now is our time. They will succumb.
For the Rotting Riders, they're going to finish off this Siren over here. They've done so well for me this game.
Sigvald the Magnificent.
Pain and despair!
Running. Chaos Marauders. Attend me. Now. Fly. Attack the mortals. Yes. Moving. Ah! Get them.
Hold on this point. Try and retake this. Good charge there. Get all these things onto point here. God, I need stuff out on the field. I've got nothing to summon in right now, unfortunately.
Claw their flesh.
This should be retaken. We did lose that point.
Woeful tidings. The enemy has captured one of your victory points. Take it back.
Move up over here, wear all these depth guard down. They should be dead in just a moment. Commit all these guys in here. Did flip the cap here. We'll run away now.
We go in fury.
Get back to the middle objective. Come over here.
Defilement comes.
Any Spearfisher's nuts left? Nah, no spears left.
So be it. At throwing arm's length.
Hold that as long as possible. Lots of cap weight moving up. We use the Hellstriders to buffer as best we can, I guess.
Chaos Marauders!
Infantry are going forward. They do cap the point. Beautiful stuff.
Sorcerer!
Ninjing that objective, staying away from all this stuff, getting back onto the middle. This is going to be a razor close game. Oh my god. Hellstriders maybe get out of there.
Chaos
Preserve some HP.
Move on them! Mortal fool!
Woeful tidings. The enemy...
Leave this butchery! Ravage them! This world will die! So be it! Chaos comes! Chaos Sorcerer! Seek it, bring them.
Riding Riders can get back over here and get after those guys, actually. It's going to be really good for me. Got a good opportunity to maybe get after this crab. No, my cap weight, please!
Hellstriders of Slanesh!
Hellstriders are going to have to come out and save my ass here.
We want their eyes! Nurgle guides us. Ill shall prevail. Marauder horsemen! Gah!
Did get screened by the pole arms here, which is really awful for me.
Yes! Your will. Kill them all!
Just need to hang on to this point somehow.
By God's call.
Oh my god. We win on one cap. How the hell we're gonna hang on to it for this long? Is an entirely different matter. It is not gonna be easy.
Charge!
Alright, the Hellstriders need to come out now. We just need to run all of our stuff up here.
Destruction. Kill them all.
I think we actually are gonna barely hang on to this point.
Weakling.
Just pop it anyways. Who cares? Just use the burning head out there, just for gigs, I guess.
Kill the summoner.
Roadblock.
To safety!
I bring a
Why is this not going
tempest.
off? Okay, finally procs, which is beautiful. Might be able to get enough WOM for one more burning head. It takes a good rotation through the sirens also. Now we just throw everything forward. Just a roadblock as long as possible. Warriors can stay. Actually, we need to finish these things off.
I knew it.
Oh my god.
Unending glory is yours.
Oh, my poor heart. Oh my god. Wow. That was a crazy match. Sibling Slaughtercade was low-key pretty good there. I lost track of it in the mid-game, but good value on those guys. Rotting Riders got 3,400 value. Pretty amazing. Look at the double grab, though. 2,900 and 3,000. Craziness, man. Bomber bats were great. I didn't have any good answers to them. The sirens just got run over and over again. They were not useful. And then everything else was just like a play for time kind of game. I got some good value on the Fire Sorcerer too. Infantry, not super useful that game. They were fine. They definitely did not win that for me. They felt like a hindrance to some degree. The we don't talk about the banner option. The banner choice was a that one was random. It was very unfortunate though. Probably the most lore unfriendly banner choice I possibly could have had there. Yeah, the Aspiring Champions were good. They got the hell kicked out of them by the double Leviathan though. Man, what do you do against double rotting Leviathan? I mean, I guess you could bring Sartorial with just Final Transmutation and Cackle as you delete the blob. That might honestly work really well. Maybe that's what you bring. So you can also bring, you know what else you can do with that? Chaos Sorcerers have Forbidden Rod. As I was making good use of that game, they're only 550 gold. You could put these, you could put a couple of undivided Chaos Sorcerers in the woods and just stroke the hell out of these Forbidden Rods and get a ton of magical recharge. And then Sartorial just drops Final Transmutation on blobs the whole game. You can probably get some disgusting value out of doing that. Might actually try that some game. I'm not above doing the double sorcerer on foot with the the Forbidden Rods. It was kind of needed it against that crab build, because what I had barely worked. We only won because of the time that we had left on the clock. Do you like the Aspiring Champions? They were really good. I think that, honestly, I think this is also cheaper than the Hero Squad we had. Did like the, maybe though you bring, axes instead. Could always commit to bringing, corn throwing axes. Do pretty good work, but that does take up, 2 marks. Which is probably not worth it. I don't know. I'll have to play around with the build a little bit more, I think. But, you know, this is definitely an idea. I think there's some bones there for sure. How much time we got left here? Can't be that much longer. I don't think I'm getting into the top 4. Oof, that's unlucky. I swear, dude. Over and over again, I get 3 wins and then just barely miss out on getting into the top 4. It's so painful. Oh, my heart. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Ooh, okay. Oh, because Ash and Oishi both lost games. Oh, no way, dude. That's crazy. I actually did get into the top 4. Hell yes. We'll probably get bounced, but whatever. Who cares? We'll see if we can. We'll see if we can get to the grands here. Yeah, tanking that Vampire Coast win rate 1 game at a time. They're not doing badly against the Warriors of Chaos either. It seems like a pretty even matchup, all things considered. Okay, cool. We're going to advance the top 4 here. Now that all the games are done, we'll finalize the bracket side of things. We'll make our announcement. Everybody in top 4 already knows they're in, but, you know, we'll get it rolling. Just let everybody know just in case. Got Boss, Sloth, Penguin, and, who's the last person? Not Torreson. Ash. So who do we got? Ooh, it's me and Boss. This is gonna be pretty rough. Boss and I have been fairly even, but Boss is playing on like another level right now from what I've been led to understand. See if I'm able to make it happen here or not. Okay. Alright guys, it's me against the world here. We'll see if we can make it happen against one of the top 10 players right now. Where's he at? Number 3. Wow, man. Boss has been tearing it up the last few tournaments. We each banned our respective mains. Now I gotta pick the 3 factions that I'm bringing in. Huh. Camping Corn, Camping Norska. Wood Elves. Lizards. And Walk. I'll swap it over so you can see what we're making decisions-wise. No. Thank you, Tyler. We'll see about it, man. This is not going to be easy. Boss on Greenskins, that'd be a fun matchup. I haven't played against them in a while, so I wouldn't be super familiar with the matchup either. Going Tomb Kings, banning Wood Elves. Oh my god. Ouch. So Lizards versus Tomb Kings or Warriors of Chaos versus Tomb Kings? Neither of which are an easy matchup. mean, they are losing to both of these factions right now, which is pretty nice. How well does that stay true, though? A little skeptical. Especially the lizardmen. What do lizards bring to counter the shooting that Tomb Kings have? What if we got slan-wise? Do you have Lore of Light? That'd be pretty decent. Death magic, probably not going to be very good. Metal magic, neither. I feel like the Slan is a trap, though. It's going to be so vulnerable to the shooting. Same with Mazda Mundi. Don't see him being all that great. I think we avoid Lizardmen. I think we go Warriors of Chaos. Alright, so we're going to go with Warriors of Chaos versus the Tomb Kings here. And now we got to figure out what exactly it is that we're going to be bringing here. Can't bring anything immobile because it's just going to get absolutely dumpstered by Cetra on the Sphinx. We could bring Lore of Fire to clear out the chaff. Works pretty well for us against Vampire Coast. Camarine War Sphinx, though, is another level of dangerous to infantry, though. Nurgle Sorcerer Lord. With death magic? Ooh, maybe. Might work. We could go with just classic old Lore of Nurgle, though. Bringing Stream and Miasma. I mean, if you bring him on the Rot Beast, he can duel with Cetra a little bit. It's pretty cheap, too. Or I can commit to the riskiest possible play. I think that's way too much. There's no way that works out. Keep these guys back. Forsaken might be a good idea here. Maybe the Severed Claw work out nicely. Very tanky. I'll get some good passive healing. Marauder Horseman. Of Nurgle, maybe? For the poison damage? Wouldn't be a bad idea. How many marks do I have left? Oh, I don't have any. Oh, damn. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I don't think we need it, actually. Couple of trolls, maybe. I mean, Hellstrider's into, a lot of the Tomb King's units are not going to be a good answer. They're going to get bullied around, I think. Tons of Forsaken in reserve. Maybe more Skirmish Cav. Is it possible that the Soul of Damnation's good here? I think it's pretty risky. I think I got enough infantry. Do I have enough mass is the question. Maybe just mass trolls? I don't know, man. I feel like this build dies on the way in. Doesn't even get to engage the front line. I don't know how to go about mitigating that, though. You know, we'll just bring 2 Horse Masters and we'll just live with our decision making. We do have Crystal Lake as the map here, which is a little bit favorable for the Warriors of Chaos. It's going to mean that we can creep up a little bit before we get shot to pieces. I don't know how that's going to hold up over the course of a long game, because we're going to have to hold on to objectives and expose ourselves to the shooting at some point, which I'm very unenthused about. It's going to be really brutal.
Winner of corruption. They will succumb. Black to the Black God.
Get our rainbow cavalry up in the forest here. They're going to hang out. Severed Claw and the trolls are going to do their best to hang on to objectives. Might fall behind on tickets early, which is going to be really brutal. Because you can't really afford that against the Tomb Kings. You can get out of hand real fast.
Mutation is a gift. Now is our time. Chaos Marauders. Rebel, you bastards.
Oh man, the Severed Claw might not pay off at all, because the problem with them is that they're, you know, slow as hell. It requires your opponent to run on top of them and engage them, and boss might not commit to that at any point. But hopefully the throwing axes can do something. We're gonna keep him over here and maybe jump up on the number 3, but might not be able to, in which case we're gonna have to push really hard for the other 2 objectives. Alright, let's get up here. Oh, the Sphinx and Cetra are on the field, which is pretty brutal. We've got an infantry advantage, so maybe we go to the low ground. These guys can go to the middle. These guys are gonna go there too. We'll maneuver around a little bit. Like, the goal is to just keep my freaking sorcerer away from all of the shenanigans here. Horse archers open up immediately and start getting some pretty good damage. Let's see if we can time this up. Not a very good cast. It cast way faster than I thought it would. And I really mistimed the hell out of it. Man, what the hell do I get out here? Forsaken? I just go for infantry clearing? Might be what I need to end up doing. Just need to keep my horsemen safe. Oh my guys, what the hell is going on with these trolls? You're just not paying any damn attention right now. Let's buffer out. Let's get more horsemen out on the field. Let's just flood the field with skirmish cav and see what we can do. These guys are safe on that objective. We've got all this stuff moving in. Let's get out. Both trying to call each other's bluffs a little bit right now. Any damage that we can get on Cetra is going to be really good. Syrians is coming down. That's pretty punishing. We've got the engagement going here with the infantry, which is not going to go great for me. The trolls are just going to die here. I don't see them being able to get much of anything done, honestly. Cast this, or are you gonna think about it the whole game? Doesn't really seem like it's gonna go off in time. Wow, man. Pretty brutal start so far. All of my stuff just folds up instantly, and I get no value out of any of it. Look at this dude. I mean, the Marauder's just routing instantly, and my horsemen getting countered pretty hard by the ranged fire currently. Disgusting. Oh man. Okay. Probably not going to be a very long game. Lord is getting caught also, which is pretty rough. Need Forsaken out here. We're just getting punished by the missile fire. Oh my god. Immediately regretting my choices. I don't think this is going to be a win, guys. Oh my god, I'm just getting flattened. Like, there's really not anywhere that my forces are doing much of anything. I need my Severed Claw to push into the back line here and get after the mobile, or the Chosen of the Gods and stuff. Need to somehow keep my horsemen alive, even though they're getting absolutely slam-bammed right now. Alright, let's space jam on these guys and see what we can do. We need to get after the Chosen of the Gods. We might actually be able to get those guys. Forsaken just flooding out onto the field and getting absolutely ripped apart right now. What do you do, man? I don't have anything that can measure up to this. Like, I did get on top of the Chosen of the Gods, but what's it really accomplishing for me? Like, basically nothing. Because all of my infantry are dead, all of my skirmishers are running for their lives right now. I don't have the Rotting Riders out. Probably should have just brought the Rotting Riders out onto the field first.
Instruments of deception.
Like, the actual hard-hitting AP units I have are doing okay. Most of the other stuff is just getting ripped up right now.
The schemer's servants.
Come on, guys. Beat those dudes down, please. Somehow survive all of this pressure back here. I don't know how, but please do. Trolls got shattered, no less, which is really disgusting. And Chosen of the Gods got free, and they're going to start farming all my infantry yet again.
We are the cunning. My God's call.
We'll play it out, but we're down pretty significantly. And don't have the Rotting Riders available yet. If I can get them out on the field and somehow kill something important, maybe we make this happen. Local stalkers are out here on the field. Kind of wearing down these Ushabti, and there's not a lot of infantry left for the Tomb Kings.
Runner, horseman. Take it, Southerner. Break bodies and minds.
Alright, Rotting Riders are gonna have to carry me into the sunset, dude. Oh my god. But we can push back in there, get after the Chosen of the Gods, and maybe keep them shut down long enough to make something happen here. Feeding a ton of value to my opponent.
One of your units.
But I mean, seriously, maybe like a really clutch late game collapse here, and keeping the important stuff alive is going to make it all worth it.
The crow brings death. That's the monster spirit. Ravish them. Sinch sees all.
Need my infantry to keep going. Oh, we got a big surround on Cetra here, dude. Oh, that's so big for me. Holy crap, is this somehow gonna happen? Don't see how, but maybe. Hoping against hope that it goes my favor.
Plague and filth.
Start getting crappy infantry out onto the points again.
We want the rise. Serve the plague force.
He's just gonna, yeah, here we go. This is how we lose the game here, is my opponent just soaks me in garbage that I can't escape from, while his stuff is able to just eventually work itself free and grind me out. Sorcerer, oh my god, dude. Screaming Skull Catapult's messing me up real bad right now. Rotting Riders are doing pretty good, but they're gonna get just overwhelmed by all of this stuff here. I don't have enough mass on the field. I really needed them out immediately, and I think I would have had a chance here. But you can see now, like, they just get surrounded by chaff, and they're gonna rout before anything good happens. Oh, that's a GG. Skirmish Cav, obviously terrible against the undead. I mean, they got nothing done. They just got wrecked over and over again. Marauders were useless. Trolls were useless. The Forsaken were pretty bad, but they were able to do a little bit more than the other stuff. Horsemasters did something. That's just a complete retool of a matchup that I need to go back on. The build I had was not it. It might have been possible earlier in the game, but I don't know. I lost way too many of my chaff units in the early going. They just didn't hold up. They got no value at all. My other thought was to go Kolek, which I kind of regret doing now, or not doing. The other one was Sartorial with Final Transmutation, Greater Arcane Conduit, and then the Forbidden Rods. That's what I was thinking about doing against the Vampire Coast, and I think it would honestly have done pretty well against that Tomb King's build. Like, just being able to hammer down those big constructs over time would have been really clutch for me. Because not having an answer to them was pretty unacceptable. Then I just go full, like, all-out melee, I guess. Do something like this, I guess, which is just absolute insanity, but probably a better build than what I had earlier. Did like the Forsaken. They performed pretty nicely for me. Probably just max those guys out. And then I think I bring some spawn for mass instead. And I guess you can get some Marauder Horsemen in the back. Double Exalted Hero wouldn't be bad either, I don't think. Bring one Throwing Axe in reserve, another here. Nah, save the money. Bring a Chaos Knight instead. I think this would be a better build. Like, Sartorial just saves up for Final Transmutation while the Chaos Sorcerer gets him there with the Forbidden Rod. Big power recharge and reserves. And then you can just nuke the expensive stuff. Sartorial can fly around. He stays pretty safe in the sky. He lands with Rock of Inevitability. Casts this on a fight. Tip the scales in your favor. And you just profit from there, I think. I don't think it needs to be too complicated. You could probably even bring Searing Doom with the Death Sorcerer getting the extra reserves. This lasts 23 seconds. How many extra wins does that give you? I think it gives an extra 5 Winds of Magic for each use out of this. Oh, 4.6. Okay. Full use of the Forbidden Rod is going to give you couple extra casts of Searing Doom, so you can just save up for the final transmutations in the early going, and then Searing Doom whatever you your opponent has left on the field that you are struggling against. I'll get there. I've won before. Well, the Severed Claw did great. But yeah, the trolls were just garbage, dude. Oh my god. They just get terror routed, and then their leadership is so bad, they just rout, and they get chased off the field. You can't afford to bleed value like that against the undead either. I mean, especially the Tomb Kings with all their cheap cav. It's just brutal. I think going tall with like the super elite is a pretty good idea. Like the Rotting Riders. It's my bombardment out of the question. Oh, okay. No, I hope I answered them fairly thoroughly. So yeah, I mean, the troll's bad. I'm cutting them. That build that I was setting up there, I think, is what I'm gonna actually bring next time against the undead. I mean, the Great Weapon Marauders aren't gonna do amazingly, but, you know, they'll at least get a little bit of value. And it's just more stuff that Cetra has to contend with. I think that even, you know, honestly, against, against Skeleton Spears, they might even be okay. And the fact that they have AP means they should be able to do some damage to, Sepulchral Stalkers and stuff. I think the Skirmish Cav was just too much fluffing about. I mean, they really didn't get me much of anything. It was way too hard. Thought I was doing something cheeky there with them, but not so. We'll livecast finals also, by the way, guys. We're just waiting on that. Other side of bracket should finish up relatively soon. I mean, we lost pretty lopsidedly, but we hung in there for a little while at least. It wasn't a total wash. Archaeon wouldn't have been very good there either. Just trying to think about what else I could do. And the Crown of Domination is cool. It gives a little bit of immune to psychology and stuff, but it's not really all that good. It's at a pretty small radius around him, so I don't think he's going to be around the battlefield enough to make excellent use out of it. And against like vampire counts, you can force like a bunker bust kind of build from them, but Tomb Kings are just gonna destroy you with missiles, so you can't really sit and play passively against them. You have to be aggressive. Cockatrice might work. It's a pretty big debuff on speed. It's also got decent combat stats. If you bring Sartorial with a Cockatrice, maybe you can do something there. How can you get it out on the field, though? Is like fairly expensive as a flyer at 1100. Guess you can cut down on the number of Forsaken you bring. You don't really need a Chaos Knight. Do that. Yeah, and maybe the Cockatrice is the first thing that comes in. because it can help dive bomb stuff in the back line too. Which would be pretty sick, in my opinion. Sure. One throwing axeman. Get the little chevron on him. 1 gold left. Perfect. Alright. Who is playing in the finals here? Blood Penguin or Ash? I would guess Ash. They haven't reported it yet. Oh, Ash did make it. Awesome. Okay, so that's funny. So it's going to be a Clan RTK finals here. We got Boss Toss and Ash going up against one another. Ash did lose in the actual tournament bracket, so who did he lose to, though? So I lost to Blood Penguin. He beat Space Pope. And round 2 beat Torreson. Boss beat Ash, so we'll see if Ash can get the revenge here. It's going to be pretty tough, though. Like I said, Boss has been playing out of his gourd lately. I'll come hang out with y'all in chat. Yeah, that's the problem, is the skirmish cav. The horse archers just outrange you so badly, and they just brutalize you. That's why that's why RTK is the hive mind. Just spoiler. Gonna subsume all others at some point. I mean, Valkia and Azazel are both good lords, but not against the Tomb Kings, because the Cimmerian War Sphinxes, the lords, you know, I mean, you're 9 times out of 10 going to see Cetra on the Sphinx. He's by far and away the best lord option for the Tomb Kings right now. He's got an anti-infantry bonus. Valkia and Azazel are both infantry-sized, and they get beaten up pretty badly by Cetra. Not a very good fight, in my opinion. They're good in other matchups, but not against the Tomb Kings. I think the Big Bird Final Chance Mutation build that I was playing around with is a better idea. You have to have something to threaten the SEs with. You could maybe do a Exalted Hero of Nurgle build that might be able to do some stuff there. They've got pretty bad mass, though. So they wouldn't really be able to do much of anything until the infantry and the Nah, I don't think... Never mind. Exalted Heroes of Nurgle aren't going to work. There's just too much mass on the field. They'll never get into contact with what they really want to fight. They'll just get dragged into spears or swordsmen or something. And just flounder around the whole game. Soul of Damnation probably would have also been okay. It's hard to protect, though, and with the double SE, it probably just gets rushed down by the Sphinx in Cetra. And then you lose it and feed a ton of value, and then you're out the Hell Cannon. Alright, give me a minute. I'm gonna swap away for a sec. I want to peek at the builds. Which they're not working on. I guess they're still doing the pick and ban. It's nice to see Warriors of Chaos with a good win rate this season. It's really nice. They've been struggling for a long time, but I think people have finally come around on them and just are actually playing them for a change. Because they're damn good. It's just a matter of figuring out how to utilize their versatility in the roster to like maximize their potential. Because I mean, if you think about it, Warriors of Chaos have like 150 plus units in the armies, or in the faction roster. Which is just staggering in terms of like variety. But bringing the right units and the right matchups is a much different story, and I think is why the Warriors have been pretty unpopular for the most part for a long time. It's because people, you know, look at the rosters, see all of what's available, and get overwhelmed, and end up bringing a lot of the same stuff, which doesn't do too well into the variety of factions that are available in this game. I mean, 24 factions is pretty staggering in terms of an RTS's offerings. And WoC having access to the core units of, what, 5 separate factions, including having their own core roster, is pretty crazy. The only thing Warriors of Chaos are missing are Centaurs. If Warriors of Chaos had Centaurs, they would be the #1 top tier faction, no questions asked. They would beat literally every other faction, without a doubt, every single time. Just because Centaurs are that strong. I genuinely believe that. I'll swap y'all back over. Yeah, Bretonnia's been getting dragged up slowly but surely. Blood Penguin's been playing them. Blood Penguin beat me playing Bretonnia earlier. We did get some revenge, though. Space Pope went Bretonnia against the Lizards. And Shredder of Lustria, very funny unit. Crazy strong. Got 4,400 value in that game. They still don't have that many games played, but any faction that doesn't have great like halberd infantry is going to be a pretty favorable matchup for Bretonnia. Like, them beating the hell out of the Wood Elves is not surprising. Wood Elves' mobility is going to just get flattened every single engagement against the Bretonnians. Like, even a Knight Errant is probably going to beat a Wild Rider. Just because of the charge bonus that Knights Errant have, and the low armor that Wild Riders have. Not a very fair matchup. I think, honestly, I think it's probably a 70-30 in favor of Bretonnia. And Bretonnia also has, you know, like the peasant archers who have pretty long range in their own right and can counterfire Glade Guard for a fraction of the cost. I think the longbows are 400 gold, and they'll gun down a Glade Guard pretty quickly with good focus fire, and I think they're equivalent range. So, that's another thing that swings in their favor. And their infantry do get hammered pretty badly by Wood Elf stuff, but I think the mobility in the ranged game being slightly favored for Bretonnia gives them the edge. It's probably a 70-30, like I said. Vampire count's a little surprising, I guess, but I can see it. Kislev, again, Bretonnia has better cavalry. Makes sense. High Elves, again, better cavalry. Not a lot of halberds that the High Elves can bring either. Kislev does have Kislevite warriors, but they'll be pretty vulnerable to the mounted yeoman skirmishing. And mounted yeomen can also shoot at the Kislevite horse archers if they're out on the field and do pretty well. Warriors of Chaos makes sense. Vampire Coast makes sense. Tzeentch and Lizards. Bretonnia's got teeth against the Lizards, but if Lizards dedicate to bringing big, mean, scary SEs, Bretonnia's going to have some trouble against those. I don't see Skaven being a winning matchup. Skaven can just flood so many bodies out onto the field. And then there's Eshin Triads and Storm Vermin, who are both excellent counters to cavalry. For totally different reasons also. I mean, the Triads are really good at sneaking up on like Bretonnian cav that might be stuck in a fight. And they can get on the rear of them and just rip them to pieces. And then Storm Vermin can just anchor objectives, beat all of the Bretonnian infantry, and then fight cavalry as well. You would need big, like, terror breaks to beat the Skaven. Nurgle I don't see being very favorable. I can see Slaanesh struggling against Bretonnia. It's probably a pretty even matchup. Dowie is a terrible matchup for Bretonnia. Chaos Dowie probably equally bad, but probably a little less awful. Just because Chaos Dwarves don't have as good of foot shooting as the Dowie do. They're a little less resilient, and their mobility is very vulnerable to the Bretonnian cavalry. Probably Chaos Dowie favored, but not the worst. Dark Elves are terrible, I imagine. I mean, the Lord options for the Dark Elves beat most of the Bretonnian Lords. Man, what else? Cold One Knights are a really good counter to the cavalry. And then Dark Elf Chaff is pretty inexpensive and much better in combat than the Bretonnians can even hope to hold a candle to. Greenskin's probably an even matchup, honestly. Tomb Kings can't be that good for Bretonnia. Too much shooting, too much anti-large, too much chaff to get through. Very chunky foe for Bretonnia to have to deal with. Khorne, I am going to go out on a limb and say this is an even matchup, honestly. Even with Khorngors being available, Bretonnian Cav can maneuver away from Khorngors and beat up on the other mobility options that Khorne has out on the field. And then you can send some foot squires in to deal with Khorngors, or battle pilgrims even. They should do pretty well into Khorngors. And you can kind of, counter Khorne that way. Field Trebuchet, a couple of them would probably be pretty nice also. It's another option against the Khorngors. As long as you stay away from the Khorne halberds, you might be okay. But it is probably really tricky, which I think is why nobody is beating them right now with Bretonnia. I don't think Beastmen is this bad, but... Well, actually, you know what? They've got Khorngors now. And Beastmen have as good, if not better, mobility options than Bretonnia. So yeah, that is a pretty awful matchup. Norsca is tricky, but probably like a 60-40 in Norsca's favor. Bretonnia does have some good answers to the Norscan units. Ogre Kingdom's terrible matchup for Bretonnia. Too much shooting, too many SEs. Pigback Riders are obnoxious as hell. No. An Empire. Empire's probably decently even. That's my full breakdown of the Bretonnia matchups. I don't think they're that bad. People dish on them a lot, say they're really weak, but I think they're deceptively strong in a lot of matchups. They just are very micro-intensive and require a lot of specialization as a player. And then the bad matchups that they have are really bad, so you have to bring them into the right circumstance to prevail with them. I don't know who the weakest faction would be right now. Probably High Elves or, High Elves or Tzeentch, maybe. Those would be my, votes for weakest factions right now. High Elves just struggle in a lot of matchups. They don't have anything that's, like, stupendous on their roster, even. Other than their, dragons. And, in Dom mode, if you go really flying core focused, it can be pretty much impossible to win on points at times. So, I don't know. Sketchy. Very sketchy for the High Elves. They look very suspect as a faction. But alright, here we go, guys. Finally kicking it off. We do have Warriors of Chaos showing up and showing out against the forces of Norsca here. There's a little bit of an inversion. Ashe is playing Norsca, while the Bostos himself is going to be playing the Warriors of Chaos. Norsca has been Boss's faction main for a very long time. Seeing him play Warriors of Chaos is a little surreal. Not something that I've seen him play a lot of, but I know he's been practicing a decent amount lately. Warshrine Mammoth is out on the field. Very nice unit. Oh my god, no! It's not a Warshrine Mammoth, it's Wulfric on the Mammoth. No freaking way, dude. Has Hunter of Champions with Seafang. So, looking for some character sniping opportunities, potentially. Hunter of Champions is a great item. Very powerful ability. The slow is pretty punishing. And the minus 40 armor is crushing. It is so bad. Even on the Mammoth, which doesn't have great melee attack, lowering Archaon down to 20 melee defense means that you've got 525 weapon strength just smacking into his face and just ruining his day, man. We'll see if Ashe is able to get that lucky of a break. I am a little skeptical, but does have other effective tools on the battlefield to be able to poke down the opposing forces here. We do have a huge core of Marauder Horsemen and Horse Masters. Maxed out on them, basically. Only a handful of infantry out on the field. We do have more of an infantry commitment from Bostos here, who's got, you know, 4 Marauders, 5 Marauders, and 1 Chaos Warrior. Soul of Damnation is going to be opening up immediately and probably get some pretty good damage going early. Melkoth's going down from the Fimir, getting a little bit of poke in there against the Horse Masters of Boss. But pretty even trade in the opening. You can see literally mirroring each other on the value right now. Probably gonna trend towards Boss's favor overall, though, as the Soul of Damnation racks up the kills. Does get a decent little shot there. Only has killed 6 models, but, you know, 115 value is not nothing. I'd probably swap targeting onto Wulfric, in my opinion. Wulfric's going to be really hard to handle. And man, these Melkoths are just racking up value now. Ashe, very good play right now. Doing a very good job of just focusing down the answers to Wulfric. And Wulfric's probably going to be going Unga Bunga here, just going right after the Marauder cores. Wouldn't be a bad option, but does look like some Hellstriders are going to come out and are screaming up the field to get after him. Locking him in combat and leaving the Soul of Damnation to just shoot at him is probably not a bad idea, honestly. He's going to take a bunch of damage from these guys. Hellstriders do pretty good damage against SEs. Oh, and a Spirit Leech going down with the Soul of Damnation focusing Wulfric. Wulfric's taking a pounding right now. I mean, has lost 5,000 HP, but having said that, losing 5,000 HP on a Mammoth does leave you with, you know, 9,000 left in total. But really good focus fire, man. Oh my goodness. Wulfric is in big danger right now, but Boss has to fully commit to killing Wulfric here, or it's going to be a complete waste of time. Archaon is getting hit by Hunter of Champions now. And Enfeebling Foam has 0 melee defense currently. Does take a blow from Wulfric, but actually breaks Wulfric. Wulfric routing right now. Oh, this could be devastating. If Boss is able to follow up on Wulfric and just keep hounding him off the field, this is going to be a very quick game. Wow, dude. What a great call-out. And a Burning Head goes down, roasting a bunch of the Horsemen of Ashe. Just ripping them apart. And look at Wulfric just hounding down the Hunter of Champions over here. I think this is going to be a very dead Wulfric. I don't even know if he's going to be able to rally here. Takes another shot from the Soul of Damnation. Soul is very safe back here, and Ashe is committing everything to try and save his lord right now. It might be too little too late, though. I mean, being able to keep Wulfric on the field might be better served under better circumstances. I don't think there's any chance he gets away from Archaon here. There's just Hellstriders out on the field now. They're getting all over the remaining skirmish cav that Ashe has left. Boss's skirmish cav are pretty worn down themselves, but they should be there should be enough Hellstriders and Hounds coming out to make up for any like lack of availability. And Wulfric goes down already. Dead and gone, and we've got the Norscan Ice Wolves moving out to intercept the Hellstriders. Should be a pretty favorable fight for the Hellstriders. I don't think running away is the right idea, though. These guys are getting frostbitten, so you can see their speed is down to 70, and Ice Wolves are pretty quick. I mean, 95 speed without the poison on them. There's no way the Hellstriders are going to be able to disengage there. Ashe is staying in this game right now. Is giving up a lot of tickets, though, now. Usually, Ashe goes pedal to the metal and takes a very dominant ticket lead early and then bounces between objectives to persevere into the late game. Don't think that's going to be an option here, though. Soul of Damnation is putting way too much pressure in terms of the value trading. Boss is up pretty big right now. Having killed the Norscan Lord, there's going to be a lot of routing Norscan units in the mid-game here. provided there's some good rear charges, and Wulfric is way too expensive to resummon in as well. Ashe trying to flip one of these objectives, but not finding a lot of luck, and Chaos Knights of Tzeentch come out. They're going to run over the Ice Wolves all day. Skin Wolves they'll have a little bit more trouble with. But you can see the leadership on the Skin Wolves is pretty terrible right now. And a good rally from these Marauder Horsemasters, get a side charge, and a really beautiful shot from the Soul of Damnation. Takes out a couple of the models on the Skin Wolves and puts them to flight, and that is going to be a huge loss for Norsca. You can see they're dropping even farther behind in value. The Fimir Balefiend gets isolated by Archaon. He just beats the living hell out of that poor little swamp dweller, man. Did not ask for any of this smoke, and Wulfric, or sorry, not Wulfric, Archaon, looking for another fight now. Burning Head and Spirit Leech still on the table, should be able to roast down any of the infantry coming out. We do have some Marauder champions with the great weapons coming out. Honestly, a pretty good unit. They got crazy weapon strength. I mean, 50 is solid as hell. That's pretty equivalent to an Exalted Bloodletter, even. So, having that on a cheaper unit, they'll be able to handle these Chaos Warriors no problem. But, you know, that is just one objective that Ashe is able to hold on to. Losing more Hounds here, the Chaos Knights, pretty uncontested. And probably going to be able to just outlast all of the remaining units that Ashe has on the field. Who's just increasingly losing more and more stuff. Probably going to be summoning in another one of these Great Weapon Warriors. Beautiful Burning Head. Wrecks these Hunter Javelins, whose leadership immediately breaks. Gonna be running away now. Trying to escape the fury of the Marauders there. Chaos Knights do rear charge the Marauder champions, but it's a little risky for the Knights to stay engaged here. The Warriors do have a full surround on these guys. But, you know, like I said, I mean, the 50 weapon strength and decent combat stats means they're gonna survive through a lot of this. Boss is flipping the objective here, though. Should be able to get a triple cap shortly. Cleaning up the last few skirmish cav and hounds back here. Soul of Damnation putting in some serious work, dude. 1,200 value so far. 19 shots left. I mean, literally half its ammo left. Definitely going to be able to do some good work. And a War Shrine Mammoth actually coming out. Not Wulfric being unsummoned, but something to give a little bit of extra leadership to all of these units here. Definitely going to help a lot, but oh no! Devastation. The champions actually draw Archaon off of the objective here, stopping the cap from coming in, and that's a few extra seconds that Ashe is actually getting some tickets. And holding off the triple cap here. I don't know if it'll matter in the long run, but Ashe is a very scrappy player, and anything is possible in this game. You never know what can happen. The Armored Skin Wolves do rally back here. Burning Head goes down. Doesn't really hit much of anything, though. It actually gets into his own Hellstriders, which is a little unfortunate. But Hellstriders are going to overwhelm on top of the Marauder Javelins here. Should be able to finish this unit off. Archaon trolling around, looking for some opportunities to get some good damage in here. Ashe is slowly building up a nice little force here that he should be able to get some work done with. Hellstriders do disengage. They get on top of the Norscan Ice Wolves here. Armored Skin Wolves down to 2 models, not going to be rallying anytime soon. The Javelins are offline. The Hellstriders do get an extra little chunk of damage out of the Wolves here. So even though Boss is trading pretty inefficiently in these fights, still getting any amount of value out of these guys is pretty juicy stuff. And it will give Boss time to have the triple cap on lock this entire time, which is gonna get into a very unmanageable state very quickly for Ashe. Charging in with the Ice Wolves, they're trying to engage against the Hellstriders, but not finding a lot of success. Marauder Champion's very worn out at this stage. They're gonna have to basically like be babysat by this War Shrine Mammoth, or this is exactly what's gonna happen. Second they run out of range, their leadership starts to tank. It does stabilize a little bit, but it's looking pretty suspect right now. Crown of Domination, probably something I should have been bringing in some of my matchups. Would have helped me out a lot. Oh, and the Soul of Damnation actually gets killed back here. Ash with a great snipe with the remaining Horse Masters. Beautiful stuff. Soul of Damnation is going to get unsummoned. Had a lot of ammo left. 17 shots. Not having it online is pretty rough. It's going to take a long time for Ash to like build up any kind of force, though, to be able to do much of anything at this stage, though. Unsummoning these champions back here. Thought about unsummoning the Ice Wolves, I think. Ended up not doing so, though. Horse Masters back out on the field for boss. Chosen Halberds moving up to the high ground. Really awesome stuff. They don't have immune to psychology, and that still bothers me to this day. Very silly. I don't understand. But, Belkoth goes down on the Horse Masters. Horse Masters almost get caught by the Ice Wolves, but they are able to avoid the worst of it. They do scoot back and into the safety of their halberds and the marauders here. Hellstriders coming out to form some kind of a roadblock and bulwark against this gigantic beast from the Norscan Wastes. Warshrine Mammoth does have some pretty good charge on Giver of Glory, which does give Fizzres, which is pretty powerful, honestly. I mean, it gets up to 20%. It's pretty nuts, honestly. Ash is doing a very good job of staying competitive in this game. I'd have probably conceded by this point, quite honestly, but Ash is trying to make something happen and might be able to if he kills Archeon. Archeon needs to get the hell out of here. Cannot lose your Lord in this situation. Need the halberds to anchor this point and just get yourself to a single cap scenario. And also maybe put a little pressure on this back objective. It's going to be a little hard, though. I wouldn't count on that being a winning play. I don't know, man. Committing the Hellstriders into these fights against the Mammoth has really not been going in the Warriors of Chaos' favor up to this point. The Hellstriders have been struggling this game, honestly, which is very rare. Hellstriders are a very consistent unit. You don't see them fail to get their value back all that often, but they do push past the Mammoth. They get on top of the Ice Wolves, are able to break both of them. Very fortunate situation for Boss, whose halberds are barely hanging on at this stage of the game. War Mammoth is all over them, but Ash is actually going to call the game there. Just realizing that there wasn't enough time to cap these objectives up, and Boss just throwing bodies out onto the points was eventually going to end up in a situation where the War Shrine Mammoth was too weak to actually maneuver around the field anymore. And, yeah, that's going to be another tournament win for Boss Toss. Really nice performance there. An amazing, I mean, how often do you see a Lord with 14,000 HP get sniped in the opening 3 minutes of the game, man? Nothing short of masterful from that display. Yeah, Piercing Bolts of Burning does kill the Soul of Damnation pretty quickly, but Ash opted to bring the Melkoths instead, which is a little bit more cost-effective over the course of a very long game. But not having an answer to the Soul was pretty punishing. So this thing was also debuffing leadership a lot. It has the take cover effect on it. It doesn't show in the tooltip, but if you hover over the leadership effects that are being procced on all of your units, you'll see it actually show up there. And once Wulfric was dead, that extra leadership malice was just enough to help push a lot of the skirmish cap off the field. Ash still got pretty good value out of those skirmishers, though. Champions with great weapons did alright. They got 800 apiece. And, you know, they cost 1,100, so they didn't quite pay for themselves. But in a better in a better circumstance, they probably would have gotten some really good value. Warshrine Mammoth with 1,300, very good performance from it, and the Hounds were doing great work as well. Just keeping Wulfric from getting sniped out like that would have probably put Ashe into a pretty good position to win that game. Because outside of Archaon and the Soul of Damnation, there weren't a lot of big performances from any of the units in his army. Not a lot of cost-efficient use out of any of the infantry. The cavalry was a little lackluster. It just got worn down by the weighted numbers that Norsca was able to bring out. And the Hellstriders were just getting flattened trying to fight under the Warshrine Mammoth. This thing was honestly got a lot of its kills off on Hellstriders, which is very impressive. So Norsca strong as ever, man. Very nicely done. I'm going to have to go congratulate everybody. Alright. It's getting really late here, so, I'm gonna wish y'all a good night. And yeah, I have to sleep too before the tournament, so I'll see you then, Despoiler. We'll see what you got then. GG's, peace, guys.